Hey, what's up, Crypto Army? I'm Travis, your crypto newbie, bringing you my experiences. You have to learn things the hard way. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of my content should be used as financial advice. Today, we're going to take a look at EverGrow Coin. There's been a pretty big update in the last 24 hours, so I just wanted to cover it quick on my channel. Not a lot going on, but I did want to cover this. So let's dive right in. The big update is they've been listing it on Bitrue. Now, the listing will go live tomorrow, Tuesday, 22 February. Why does this matter? So the big reason is that the Simplex button is tied to the listing on Bitrue. And how Simplex works is you have to list with one of their major exchanges in order to be able to use the Simplex button. So getting listed on Bitrue allows for the integration of the Simplex button, which is phenomenal because that'll make it a lot easier to buy EverGrow Coin directly from their website. And as you can see here in this tweet, they're going to put on their website, their wallet, their exchange, all over the place. So it's going to make it a lot easier for potential investors to buy EverGrow Coin. Now, how I've heard it described in the past is Simplex is going to allow us to direct buy. So not go through Binance Smart Chain and then eventually get to EverGrow Coin, but direct buy of EverGrow Coin. Now for the big news. We all know that the price has been going down, and most of us are aware there's been a lot of drama going on the EverGrow Coin Twitter feed. Some of it seems to have a negative impact on the price. There was this massive sell yesterday. Again, that's a pretty good sell. Now there's been a little bit of buying pressure following that, but there was some people on Twitter that said, if you don't address this, we're going to sell. And one of them in particular said, hey, I've got $1 million. When I say you need to address this, and I'm going to sell, that's a big deal. That's kind of where we're going. Now, I always tell people, you really can't believe what you see on Twitter. We don't know what's truth versus what's fiction. We know what various people have said, but we don't necessarily know the truth of it. So when somebody says they've got $1 million and they're going to sell if you don't address this, it's kind of hard to know for sure if that's true or not, unless you know for sure that person has $1 million invested into a project. And I don't know that for sure. But I mean, there was a pretty big sell not that long after that post. Maybe there's some truth to it. But I can tell you one thing with absolute certainty. The community was getting tired of this back and forth argument on Twitter. The entire situation was kind of ridiculous and really didn't need to be done in the first place. It was kind of a waste of a month because it's been going on for about a month now. Way too much energy went into that drama. But there is a ton of drama out there if you're not aware of it. I think it's resolved, but it remains to be seen. Hopefully it is. I know there's at least a truce between Reflex and EverGrow Coin. Hopefully the communities are aware of that and start to follow it because there's no benefit of doing that. And for everybody that's listening to this, other communities take advantage of those situations to throw FUD out there. We all know in the crypto space, there's certain communities that feel like their project needs to attack other projects. So if there's a project out there that sees some back and forth between EverGrow Coin and Reflex, there's a good chance that that's going to get exploited by people in their community that see an opportunity to do that. There might have been some of that was feeding into everything that was going on, but it was kind of getting crazy. So as an investor in EverGrow Coin and an investor in Reflex, I'm really happy that that's possibly done. We'll see. It's kind of early after the ceasefire. But hopefully the truce maintains. And if there's something out there, it's possible that it's just somebody that's trying to feed that negativity from another community. Not even just Reflex or EverGrow Coin, just some random community out there that sees an opportunity. Or just somebody that likes to spread FUD. There are people like that. Now, holders has been staying pretty steady. We haven't really seen much of an increase. We haven't seen much of a decrease. It's just kind of being steady. But 136,000... that's a lot of people. That's not bad, especially when you consider that's only been a couple months since EverGrow Coin launched. And also, just kind of a comparison, you can see the entire market is down. So everybody that's worrying about why is EverGrow Coin's price going down, other than that kind of big sell-off, the entire market's down. You can buy BNB for $372 right now, compared to a couple months ago when it's over $600. That's a phenomenal markdown. So we're seeing a lot of chaos in the market. It doesn't help that there's potentially a war going to happen between Russia and Ukraine that's driving some of the caution in the market, both stock market and in the crypto market. The possibility of war destabilizing a region has never really been good for investments. Now, there is a pretty good tweet to read by Sam, and it kind of lays out the differences between investing in the stock market and investing in crypto and some of the considerations and some of the things that he's had to deal with as the CEO of a project, it's worth a read. It's good information. I think there's a lot of new people into the crypto space that would really benefit from reading this, because he's not wrong with the things that he's identifying. There are a lot of people that get into crypto expecting that they can drop $100 on something and be a millionaire overnight, because it happens. That kind of craziness does happen, but it's random and luck most of the time. There's usually no way to predict which project is going to shoot up 43 million% in a couple of months. You know, the person that invested in SHIB in January 1st, and then that $100 turned into 42 million, that doesn't happen very often. Same thing with the Dogecoin. There's no way to predict that that was going to happen, or Elon Musk was going to send out that tweet that launched it like that. Those are really hard to predict, but a lot of people are getting into the crypto space to try to get that. And that's just not realistic as far as your expectations. Again, I say it all the time on my channel, you are investing for 5 to 8 years. You're looking at where things could be in 5 to 8 years. So don't be surprised if you spend a lot of time looking at being below or slowly increasing. Now, the possibility exists for that exponential growth, which is why it's usually best not to move your investment out of a project. If you've already made the decision that that's a good project, that's just my opinion. It's always good to take a little bit of your profits every once in a while, but just keep in mind why you got in the project and what your goals were for that investment. But there's always going to be some good investment opportunities out there, which is why it's good to have a good investment strategy. I've mentioned this several times through the course of my videos. My approach is I set a certain amount of my monthly income aside for crypto investments. Sometimes it's trying to reach the goal for specific projects. Sometimes it's about investing in a new project. But I have a plan for how to use my income every month, and it's not money that I'm worried about losing, because again, never invest money you're not willing to lose. And as always, you have to do your own research. There are a lot of influencers out there that are just trying to make money off the investments, and they're using their platforms to do that, as indicated by this most recent lawsuit against these individuals related to SafeMoon. Now, usually it's easy to tell influencers that are doing this because you never hear anything negative about a project, and projects always have something that could be done better. There's always something that gets screwed up. There's usually a timeline delay issue that's identified. If you never hear any of the negative, you should probably ask yourself what's in it for this influencer. And if it's a one-hit wonder, where the influencer says, I invested a whole bunch of money, and then you never hear about it, that's usually a good indication that they're probably not really behind the project, because that happens all the time. A lot of them are just getting paid to pump the project, or they're hoping for a pump and dump where their investment skyrockets and they can sell, leaving everybody else holding the bag. So always do your own research into a project, just to make sure that it's the project you actually believe in and want to invest in. And I always recommend having an idea of what your goals are for that investment. Whether it's 5 to 8 years or whether it's 6 months, have some sort of a plan for what you want to do. That way, if it skyrockets, you're not reacting emotionally. Same thing if the price goes down, that you're not panic selling or paper handing your position only for the price to go back up and you lose all that money. That's pretty much it for today. Hope you found the content helpful. Now, there are big updates coming for EverGrow Coin. We should see the NFT marketplace and creator in the next 30 to 40 days, which is going to start bringing in that volume. Now, just keep in mind, nothing is immediately hugely successful. So don't expect that it gets launched and then all of a sudden you're getting millions upon millions of dollars in volume. That's just not realistic. More realistic is it's going to take a little bit of time, depending on the number of influencers they've actually got lined up, to grow those platforms. Same thing with the marketplace. Unless they've got people that are producing content lined up, you might not see a huge increase in that platform initially. It takes time to build that volume. So don't feel like the day after it launches, there's going to be millions of dollars and the price is going to shoot up through the roof. That'd be nice, but you might want to come back to reality and realize that things take time. Until next time, stay strong with those diamond hands.